on Brigantia Blackbird, a Blackbird's Brew. Happy Wednesday and welcome to this week's installment of the Havamal. It is verse 54 for us, and we will begin by looking at 3 different translations. The first translation reads, "Wise in measure let each man be, but let him not wax too wise, for never the happiest of men is he who knows much of many things." Olive Bray. Second translation, "It is best for man to be middle wise, not over cunning or clever. The fairest life is led by those who are deft at all they do." That's W.H. Auden and P.B. Taylor. And now from the Cowboy Havamal, my perennial favorite. "Don't get too goddamn smart now. There's a measure for everything, and don't think it's for nothing that the stupid people tend to be the happier ones too." And that's, of course, by Dr. Jackson Crawford. So apparently, there is such a thing as too much wisdom, and it's apparent from this verse that it refers to actual wisdom and not just the pretense of wisdom, which of course is different and we've covered in other videos. Now, given that the pursuit of wisdom is a central ideal in paganism, and for Odin himself, the advice of this verse might strike us as a bit odd, even contradictory, but let's consider the premise. Odin's pursuit of wisdom was extremely costly, and we can probably think of people who we've known who are wise, and oftentimes we are more than aware that they have quite a few scars to go along with that wisdom, literal or metaphorical. So wisdom is not acquired without cost, sacrifice, and frequently regrets. If we are seeking wisdom, it might not be a bad idea to examine our motivations. Is this about us learning to make better choices in life, or is this about us wanting to be seen as wise by others, to get a little bit of street cred? What is it we're really trying to accomplish? And it can be difficult to look in that mirror and peel back our layers, but I'm recording this video for January, and if ever there was a time for reflection and just kind of doing a little bit of self-examination and being honest with yourself, it's definitely during the month of January. Now, if we turn our attention to the last part of the verse, it's highlighting that the people who aren't necessarily all that with it, they also tend to be happier on the whole, which is a pretty provoking state of affairs. When you consider what people go through in order to gain wisdom, it does seem that some sort of happiness ought to be owed to them. But alas, that's not the way things work. It has been said that, from all of the superhero and comic book movies, that, with great power comes great responsibility, which is fair enough. But I also think that's true of great wisdom. It comes with duties. And those who have any measure of foresight, they're going to experience anxiety. And unless they can actively do something about anxiety, it might be more difficult for them to alleviate it. However, the heightened state of happiness of, ignorance is bliss, that's a very temporary state of affairs. The belief that all is well and will continue to be well, that can be very dangerous for people when they are actually confronted with an emergency of any kind. Those who are unbothered by thoughts of the future and possible difficulties, they don't do anything to prepare for them, and the results of that can be disastrous. So the question facing us is whether or not we accept a measure of pressure, a measure of anxiety that will come along with our pursuit of wisdom. And can we accept that our reward for that wisdom might not come with the emotional highs that the non-wise people experience? Are we going to take the road that preaches that ignorance is bliss, and you just wait for that day when we finally get splattered because we didn't prepare for anything? Are we going to allow all of life's challenges to take us by surprise, or are we going to take the slightly harder road, realize that we do need to have some foresight, we do need to accept and embrace the reality that life has its risks, life is going to have its problems, there's no escape from that, so it's just really a question of, can we make the best of things? Which do we choose? Definitely something for us to think about. Let me know where your own thoughts have taken you in the comment section below, or come visit me on Gilded. Our link to our server, Blackbird's Brew, is in the description box below. You would be very welcome. So if you would like to discuss this or other philosophical puzzles, please feel free to come and see us. But that will do it for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.